Welcome to the People's Economy Podcast, the only podcast where we keep it all the way real. Our mission here is to educate you, empower you with knowledge financially, about economically, spiritually, whatever journey you're on. We want you to prosper. So right now we have a lot of things going on in this economy. And one question is people are thinking, what should they do with their money? Um, some people are thinking, should they cash out their pension, their retirement? People are trying to survive right now. Some people are investing. Some people are spending. What do you think about some good opportunities out there? People to actually grow their money and take what they have now, and maybe make that nest a little bit bigger.
Mm. I think I think you definitely gotta diversify now. You gotta have like you gotta have your eggs in a lot of different baskets, I think. And maybe even on to add on to ones you said, maybe even like try Bitcoin. You probably gotta try some Bitcoin. You could even buy like physical gold, silver. Probably should get some, just get gold and silver. Uh, and of course stocks. Of course stocks is always like the common option. Um, but I definitely think maybe even people pooling their money together, like just as them, sort of like their own thing, finding financial avenues for people to get like loans and things, large sums of money, without maybe having to go to a bank or something like that. That could also be something that springs up out of this, maybe.
Now, pulling your money, that's a good idea. You have maybe a group of friends, some people
Yeah,
you're close to, some family. You got a couple of bucks. You guys put maybe a few $1,000s up
right,
each. Maybe try to get some merchandise from a
right,
Shopify store, Amazon store.
right, right.
Maybe you got a couple of hundred, like you said, you can buy like maybe you have the 1,000 you put with your in the merchandise. You have a couple of hundred. Maybe you can buy like even you can buy like ETF in gold or
You
silver or
could,
buy actual
you could,
gold Bitcoin. Yeah,
you
it's a
could.
great idea.
You definitely need the tangibles too. But I think if you take those options, I think you'll, even if something goes under or something changes, you'll at least have like five other things that your
Mm.
money is invested in, as long as you, like I said, diversify. But I think people had a lot of time right now to, hopefully they had a lot of time to like figure out how finances work, how their finances work for them. I think that's what this whole thing has sort of stripped down. I think it's kind of made economics like in your face, kind of, so you could people could see it a little easier now because it's kind of stripped down. You see what your essential things that you spend on, what you do, what you have. So I think if people invest in more essential things, that'll be where we're headed, probably.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe you buy your essential needs, cut down on luxury items, and put that some of that money aside. Maybe buy some shares of Microsoft on a pullback, or a couple of shares of Home Depot. Yeah, you want to be more wise with your money now. You don't want to just blow it on luxury items you don't need, or even like you said, you can pull money together. Get a group of people, you pull money together. You can maybe buy some real estate, buy some property out of state,
Mm, yeah,
um, rental
definitely
property,
that.
rent out.
Definitely that. I think rental property will go up. I think there'll be more people trying to do rental properties and trying to own property. I think that'll come out of this. I think that's definitely a opportunity, because that's not going anywhere either. The land is going to be the land. So
Mm.
if you can get a little piece right now, at a good rate, and think ahead and try to plan it out, you could be in for later, because there might be a dip. I'm sure there'll be a dip in the economy again. I'm sure there'll be another dip. It's bound to happen in like the fall or the winter. I'm sure we'll see a downturn, especially if there's no change to what's going on. It's going to be the same result, maybe worse. And it's kind of struggling, at least in NYC right now. It's different. The economy's different.
Yeah, but real estate could be great because people don't want to stay in a hotel right now. So you can do
Right.
like an Airbnb
Right,
type
right,
thing.
right. That's more comfortable for people probably. Airbnb is more comfortable right now. Because I don't even think all the hotels are open, if I'm not mistaken yet, right? Are all
Right.
hotels open? I'm not
No,
sure. No, right? I don't think so.
but they're
Some
open
maybe.
with restrictions though.
Right, with like super restrictions, like 10
Mhm.
people, like 10 rooms can be used or something like that. That's all it is.
Mhm.
But that's a good way to like innovate in the market. Airbnb, maybe that comes alive again because people want to do that, and you can like verify. You can almost have a couple jobs off that job alone. Like you could have cats that verify we've cleaned, COVID inspection, cleaning.
Mm.
You can have like a whole shit off your Airbnb and that could be an ecosystem of its own. And like you could secure that better. You can secure your rental property better than a giant hotel, for sure. People scale down maybe now. Probably just scale down things.
But if you own the property, you can probably charge more because Airbnb is not cheap to begin with, and now you have more demand. You probably get a little bit more money a night for a night of your Airbnb. So there's definitely some investment opportunities. Like you said, you get a group of friends, post some money together, maybe buy a property in a vacation town out of state, rent it
Right.
out Airbnb or rent it out by the week, by the night. You got, instead of consumer spending and just keep buying luxury items, put some of that money aside and do some investments.
All right. So that's a good segue into thinking about this next stimulus and like the 1,200 or however much we're
Mm.
supposed to get. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think about it? And what do you think people should do? Maybe what are some positive things to do with that $1,200 or however much the stimulus ends up getting? I don't know if it's 1,200.
I definitely want to buy some stocks with my stimulus check.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
I think you can even track it now. I haven't called the number. I believe there's a number you can call and track your
I
stimulus check.
believe so. I believe you're right. I believe you're right. Yeah. There's definitely a way to track it. There's definitely a way to track it.
I mean, a family of four is getting, a family of five, they're getting 2,400 plus one other 1,500. If you're getting like 3,700, you can start your own business with that money, right?
You definitely, absolutely. You could definitely start a business with 30. Right now, too, digital, where it's just all online.
Mm.
You don't need rent. You don't have to save rent. You don't got to get a loan to, what I'm saying? You know how big that is? You don't got to get a loan now. Now we just got that. They kind of gave you a loan. You're probably going to pay tax on it later. You're definitely going to pay tax on it now and maybe
Mm.
later. But I agree. I would take it in something that's long term investments, definitely stocks. Like I said, I would buy the physical gold. I would buy physical
Mm.
silver. I would buy gold ETFs, silver. Um, anything that's been solid. I think like over years and proven right now. That's all you got to lean on. Look at the things that have been prospering during everything that's happened.
Mm.
All the essentials are pretty much all you have to lean on, so that's going to be around. You know, you got to lean on whatever's the essential, what people are going to always need. An online store is a good way to start though. With that
Yeah,
30, we said
non-life
3,700.
store. Non-life store, but like you're saying, like about even when you're looking at the stock, like you were just mentioning about like the future, people are actually, you want companies that are like doing good things for the environment, like Microsoft's looking maybe minimize carbon dioxide. Those are interesting aspects when you're doing research on stocks. Those are interesting aspects to look at. What are they doing for the future to make the world more greener? Maybe put some money in some companies like that.
Mm. Uh,
I think Amazon's working on some stuff too.
Amazon definitely has to be working in that sector. But I had they always been though, or is that I feel like
Yeah,
Amazon might have.
but now that all that's going on, that we're gonna need to be more like into the future of our environment. To,
Right, right. So anything that's environmental, green, all that kind of stuff might be the next the next investment. That's why land is important too. I guess you gotta have land too.
mm,
To make sure there's gonna have to be able to ways for people to facilitate more crops, more natural, just stuff to grow stuff like that.
You can't go
Agriculture might
wrong.
come back.
You can't go wrong with land. Take that $3,700. You can probably find a piece of land somewhere in
You
America
can.
and buy a piece of land foreclosed
You
for that
can.
price, and just
You
hold
definitely
on to
can.
that.
You definitely can. You definitely can take that amount and find a couple acres probably somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's just in the middle of somewhere, but you own it for that amount, and you just sit on it. You just have that forever, maybe. You just have it. Just
Or let
grab
that
onto
build
the land.
equity. Let it build
Right.
equity
That's
until
right.
maybe somebody wants to build a property on there,
Right.
and they can
And
buy you
then
out.
make out a deal. Yeah, make me a deal at that point. That's true. That's a good money play to make with it. I like that probably the most, the real estate. Because that's a game that's gonna if you get savvy in that right now, you're gonna be good. If you get savvy in real estate and how the market's gonna work, and maybe getting a couple of properties, because seeing people are moving out, but waiting, because I think people will be back into the city and stuff. I think it'll be younger though. I think it'll be a younger crowd that moves back into the city, and that might be good for those who are trying to rent and got properties. The Airbnb thing, millennials don't want to stay in hotels. Probably they want to do Airbnb. I'm sure that's what that's like the new thing. That's like the new thing to do. So it's different, man.
Yeah, with people fleeing the city, that's why I was saying maybe like vacation spots might be a good place to invest right now. Like
Yeah.
something like Myrtle Beach, Virginia
Mm,
Beach.
mm. Oh,
People,
Virginia Beach. Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. Virginia Beach would be good right now. Like if you get a spot, if you have if you have like a good paying remote job right now, you can go to Virginia Beach and live by the water, like some beautifulness for way cheaper than New York. And now it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? I can live here. I just need the Wi-Fi. As long as I got the Wi-Fi, I'm good. I'm chilling by the water. So that I think more. It depends. It really a lot of stuff depends on how numbers look. Maybe other places start to become more, a higher tier, higher markets, higher commerce going on in other places. You never know.
but that's where you can come in as an investor. You can go to VA Beach and probably buy a affordable home and
Right,
rent it out to somebody who wants to live out there and work from home.
right, right. For the low, you
Yeah,
can
you
get it
get a
for the
good
low.
price. That's why I like you go to Virginia Beach or Myrtle Beach. You're getting it for a decent price. So if you have to carry your investment, like you don't have a tenant in there or nobody's renting it out, you can carry the mortgage simply because it's not like New York where the mortgage is like on a $500,000 house.
Right,
The
right,
mortgage
right,
is less, you can carry it, and then you build from there. You buy one, you let it pay it off, you take the equity from that one, then you buy another property next door. Kind of build a
right,
real estate portfolio like that.
right. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. That's pretty much the blueprint. You just keep rinse and repeat that. You pretty much got the formula. There's a lot of inventory. I think there'll be a lot of inventory in the city too. Like I
Mm.
know cats is fleeing the city right
Yeah,
now, but
New
if
York
you could,
City
right, New York City, but if you could get something, you could snatch something in New York City.
at a
Trust and
good
believe. At a good price in New York City right now, I would get it and just buckle up. But I think it would come back and turn around, and it'll be, I think it'll be modified. New York City will be modified, like kind of the same, but modified. Like you can still go out, you can still have fun, but it's a little different now. But it'll be enough for people to be there, I think, because it has to. There's no other way for that. There's no other way. For certain places need people to be around and a lot, high volume.
Well, since you bought in Manhattan, I've seen a statistic that condos and co-ops are down 60%, probably in the month of June and July, as they were last year. That means people are buying 60% less of condos and co-ops in Manhattan right now. So you're
Right,
bound to see a price drop.
right. It has to happen, and that's Manhattan. See, so that means that's why I say too. According to the numbers you're saying, it has to be a younger crowd that comes in. The younger people are going to be like, oh, let me snatch a condo now in Manhattan. I can live in Manhattan now, even if it is. Because Manhattan right now, to some people, they like it because it's like, it looks like Manhattan, but it's like less people. So they're like, yo, I could just kind of be in Manhattan and move around now. I could get on the train and there's not that many people. Like some people kind of like that version of New York right now.
Like you
So
said, the younger people, right?
the younger people, they're like, all right, whatever. I'll just, even if there's a couple cats, I'll just be out here. There'll just be a couple people, and that'll be how it is. And I don't really need to go out anyway. Maybe I go to the office twice a week or something like that. Nothing crazy. So, but I think somebody's gonna buy that real estate, and I think it'll be younger people. The people who had the old money, or the older people, they moved out. I don't know if they're coming back, especially if they raise taxes.
Yeah, if they got old money, they out in New York City right
They out
now.
of New York. Yeah, they out of New York. Like I did it. It shut down. They probably don't like this version of it, and that's okay. I get it. But for those that's here, it'll be modified. I think that'll be the new look. Still around, but different. I would still invest. I would definitely still invest for
Yeah, you
sure.
can't go wrong with Manhattan real estate.
You
New
can't.
York City real estate.
Right. Any New York City, especially man. If you can grab Manhattan, you're you're doing good. But anywhere really in the city, if you grab anything in the city right now, it will be worth something. At some point, it will be worth something again. At some point, that's what the everything history will tell you that it'll be worth something again. You just got to ride out that market. But real estate's that's a good way. That's a good swap. That's something to swap into your income that maybe people didn't have before. You probably have to have a real estate something on your portfolio. You have to take your check and buy land. Buy just land, like you said. Buy land and just hold it. Don't do nothing with it.
I'll tell you one thing: it was better. Your $3,700 sitting in that land is better than your $3,700 sitting in the bank.
Definitely, that's 100% true. That's 100% true. Because them interest rates right now it's pretty low. The interest rates is low right
The
now.
land's going to appreciate a lot quicker than that, and a
It
lot of
will.
money sitting in the bank account.
It definitely will. That's what I'm saying. I hope people recognize like this is a good time to. You shouldn't even be scared to do business in New York City. This is a good time to. This is actually a good time to explore it and see how you could get in. I think this is the better time than ever. There's no better time really than right now. This is it. This is it. I don't think it's ever going to be this low, this much inventory open. You can see any apartment. I think the rent has gone down already in the city. People have told me, and the rent's already going down a couple hundred in places.
People that are renting, why would they rent? They can probably go upstate and buy a whole house for half of the rent they pay on the rental, on an apartment rent. They can probably buy a whole house and
That's what
gain
I'm
that
saying. Right. Right. So why would you? Maybe more people. So you think because weren't the numbers? I believe the numbers were going down for millennials or younger people buying homes, right? That number was kind of down, right?
Yeah, it was.
But it might start to go up pretty drastically too. It might start to go up drastically if cats catch on to like, oh, okay, we need to get in some of this land. And maybe it's the city. Maybe it's the city. If the city's younger, I'm not even mad at that in a way. I'm not even mad at that if the city does resurge younger. I'm not mad at that.
I can see that happening.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I think that's what it will be. It'll be a younger people in there, and it's probably needed at this point. Honestly, keep it all the way real. It's probably needed. Just some new energy. That's it. New innovation, new creativity. You need that. You need young people who are hungry and got the energy to like, you know what I'm saying? To like make it work. They want to make the city work. They got the energy to make it work, not just sit back and like wish that, that type of thing. I want it to be younger, and they'll bring a new commerce too. They'll bring a new way.
I was thinking that if you bring in the young people, you're gonna need a more like technology savvy city at that too.
Right, absolutely. is gonna be like some Tokyo or something like that. It's gonna be all computers. Everything's
Yeah,
gonna
that's what
be
I'm saying.
everything's gonna be young people with like every gadget you got, like everything's gadget. Because they already had the Amazon grocery store where you pay first, then you just go in and take everything, and you don't even pay. Like it's set up to like kind of be that already. They were like inserting little things into the economy already to sort of set up for maybe not this, but if something were to change, some people were ready for the change. Some people, some companies.
That's interesting because now when you see the future, you see like 3D ATM machines in like super techno, super technical city like that.
It might be the 3D ATM.
They pop up and they go
They
away.
just pop up, and yeah, the money just comes out, and it's just okay, it's just whatever. That's crazy. But you never know now. You never know. I mean, you really never know. Like I feel like it's definitely gonna be like that. It's gonna be more computerized. The city's gonna be more computerized. Everything's gonna be on computer, a grid. But it'll be different. So cats really could say it'll be different. I don't know what the difference
We
yet.
joke around about the technology, but there's some truth to the jokes. You know what I'm saying?
Right. There is. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say.
They're already talking about how to get autonomous taxi drivers. So in New York City, will have like cars driving themselves, driving people around.
Oh man, some Total Recall. Like that might be where it's going. What do you think? Now we've seen what the I guess what businesses have flourished during this time as far as like the monster companies. What do you think the next tier, or do you think there'll be a next tier of companies to come out, or will that big companies just keep getting bigger for a while?
That's a great question because as far as I know, a new company called Big Commerce IPO this week, and the stock went up like 300%. It's like a Shopify type store. So I see like the e-commerce really,
Okay.
see it's like Etsy actually announced earnings this week, and that stock is up as well. So I see the e-commerce. I mean, they seem to be dominating right now. Seem to be dominating what the future is going to be for the most part.
Yeah, I think you're pretty much right. The e-commerce is like a no-brainer. It was like always set up to be the way to go. It was always like meant to be the way to, to do business in the future. Everything's going to be contactless too. So all that stuff, what is it? The Square, the stuff that the card readers, all that kind of stuff. You see, the trains already have the contactless. You can just use your debit card now and you don't need a card now. You could just use so all that kind of technology is going to be part of, the new way.
Yeah,
So everything hands-free.
Sometimes you walk into a store now, they don't even have change like coins. You don't even get back anymore.
Right. Isn't it like a shortage? I think there's a shortage of coins. They're like asking people for coins. Yeah, like allegedly there's a shortage of coins. I don't know if that's true. I got a couple.
So where did all the coins go that we had in circulation then?
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't using mad coins.
That's what I'm saying.
Who uses mad coins now to where it's like a wrap for all the coins? Where all the coins go? Just somebody has them?
I think they're trying to say like it's like germs, like it's not
it passes. It passes germs. I mean, I guess maybe true. You know what I'm saying? Probably maybe true. It's possible, but nobody uses that. I think it's gonna be debit cards almost from now on. You have that. They got the chip on it where it's the contactless already. You just like tap your card on the screen and it takes it. I think everything has that now, like automatic. All your debit cards have it, so you don't even need really cash no more. No one has cash really.
Yeah, I can see us kind of going to a cashless society.
Yeah, like it's kind of there now. Halfway. It's like halfway there now. It's halfway there now. No one really is cash.
Yeah, I don't really carry cash on me anymore.
That's what I'm saying. No one really does that. No one really has just stacks cash. You just got the card. Got a debit card now. Credit card. That's all it is. I think
That's why. Let's cut you off. You look in PayPal,
yeah.
Mastercard, and Visa stocks. I like
What?
those. Speaking of,
What? Those are good, huh?
yeah, because as e-commerce builds, people are buying. When you buy on Amazon, you can't use cash. You got to use PayPal, Mastercard, or Visa as you shop e-commerce.
Oh, right. Damn. So, I mean, they're definitely trying to switch it up because like we were talking about. Well, when we were talking about the Hudson Yards, that I think that mall is it's all no cashless. It's cashless, so you can't even pay cash. Nothing in that mall. So they were trying. They're trying to make it sort of the switch. I'm sure technology wants it to go that way. The tech world wants it to go. They ready. The tech world's ready to like adapt to the cashless. They ready to have all type of stuff for you to where you don't need cash or
This,
everything digital currency.
this so-called new normal.
Yeah, that's I don't even know what that means. That doesn't even make sense really. New normal. It doesn't even really make sense.
Well, yeah, with cashless balls, that's more of a reason to look into Mastercard, Visa, and stocks like that. They're actually probably at a good price right now.
Right.
But one thing about when you buy stocks, you want to look at you don't want to just buy like right away tomorrow. You want to look for a good entry point. Try to get it like on a dip.
Okay. When it's down a little bit, because that
Yeah.
come up, you need to come up. Unless you could just buy some Amazon. Unless you could just buy some Amazon outright, buy a couple. Then it's just whatever. Throw all your bread into that. But if you got to be regular, yeah, definitely on the way up.
Yeah,
On
right.
the way up is the best.
Amazon, like Amazon Tesla, the different animals, right?
That's a whole Tesla. That's a whole different. That's a whole different conversation. That's a whole different beast. It's not the same. But if you could do that, but there's plenty of other things you can invest in, other companies you can invest in that you can make money off. That's the way digital. Probably invest in stuff like that too. That technology. Maybe you can invest in people who make that technology, the contactless technology, the Apple Pay. Well, that's Apple, but you know what I'm saying. Whoever makes that
Mm.
contactless stuff, you probably gotta
Funny you
get on
said
board with
Apple Pay because Square, another fintech company,
Square.
reported up this week.
Right, Square, right. The Square got their version of that, right? Square is the version of Apple Pay.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like a
Yeah,
cash app.
right. And they got a couple. I think I have one. I might have one for the phone. Like you put it on the phone,
Yeah,
you can
see?
swipe. Yeah, but now they got a couple. They got like the credit card. You can put the credit card in,
Mm.
all that. So that's a good one. Stuff like that, I think businesses are gonna need, especially small businesses. That's all you need. Now you go into a business, they got like a MacBook and like the Square, and that's it. That's like
Yeah,
their whole.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's their whole business. But now you could just do that from the crib. You don't really need to go
Speaking
outside
of,
no more.
actually, if you have an Apple share, just it's gonna actually split to four. One
Right.
share becomes four.
I do, and I do. Just so happens that I do.
Yeah, me too.
It just so happens that I do. So I'm happy about this. It's gonna happen. Yeah. But what what do you think that was about?
I noticed. I think it's about like it's to give like they see Robinhood investors.
Yeah.
Robinhood, like new retail investors are at all-time high. People have flooded the market. They want
Right.
to give young investors an opportunity to own Apple.
Okay.
So they have things what's called fractional share now. For some people who might not want to buy a fractional share, they don't want to buy a whole share of Apple. So now if you cut it in four, it's $100 a share. They can get the younger investors, involved to own a piece of the
Mm,
company as well. Because they probably
okay.
see the trend in younger investors through Robinhood.
Gotcha.
They're called Robinhood investors. That's the slogan.
Okay.
they're
Okay.
really flooding the market in the last couple of months.
Yeah, because Robinhood is pretty much like the app too. That's what they do. It's
Mm,
just young
yeah.
people who you're just trying to come in and figure it out. You're trying to get
Mm-hmm.
your investments off. That's what you're trying to do. So that definitely makes sense. I think that's the way. Apple. I mean, who knows? It might literally be one day the big Apple. Like
Exactly.
like New York City might be the big. It's like the Apple sign
Mm,
now. Now it's
for
the Apple
real,
sign.
right?
And now everything is Apple in the city. Like it all looks like that Apple. that white and gray. So everything's like that. It might end up being like that because if you could reinvest in the youth, which is smart, it's a
Mm.
smart
All
it's
right.
a smart thing to do. It's not wrong for them to do. It's a smart thing. But now that's where we were saying
Yeah,
it
it
might
makes it
make
more affordable. It makes it more
makes it more
affordable
affordable. It makes it more
for
affordable.
younger
Now,
investors.
right. And now they could still Apple is people still gonna buy Apple, so they could still pay good salaries. Apple
Mm.
could still pay out good salaries. And now we don't need as many buildings. We stay home now.
Exactly.
We're gonna
Save money on
yeah,
rent, right?
yeah, save money on rent. We're gonna upgrade like our computers so we could do like now you
Mm.
could do everything you need from home, everything
Mhm.
you got from home, and we can have a couple offices. Now we can still pay now, and then now we can live in a city because now the rent is not even that high.
Mm.
I still make a good amount of money. Now I can afford New York City to live here. So it's gonna be new energy. It might be good tides. It might be good tides possibly rolling in.
Well,
Probably done for now though.
Apple's actually way more involved than people realize. They think Apple, they think of just like iPhones and computers, but
Right.
they're actually involved in self-driving cars. They're involved with AI, artificial intelligence technology.
You're right.
So they're more involved than most people know.
No, you're right. You're definitely right. You're definitely right about that. It goes deeper. They have their roots into other things for sure. For sure. They're
And
the future though.
Apple likes to keep it. They don't like to talk about it, so they keep it hush hush. They don't
Yeah.
like to brag about the
No, they
things
don't.
they're working on.
No, they don't. They don't. So you'll never know. You don't know what Apple's coming out till they drop it.
Mm.
I'm sure there's a lot of prototypes that we're never gonna see that they got. They got mad stuff that we're never gonna see. Probably that come out.
That's
But
actually might have been the secret to their success is that they don't talk about it.
yeah, that probably is. That probably is like exclusive. They just drop it. You just get that drop and just like, oh, okay. And it's minimal. The drop is minimal. They just like show the spinning phone
Yeah,
like with a
exactly.
black background.
Mm.
That's what it is. But that's like their branding. It works for them. It works. And I'm not mad at it because I got Apple. I'm on Apple right now. So it is
Yeah,
it is
exactly.
what
We
it
all
is. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm not mad at it, but it's a good economic strategy that Apple's doing. I think they're gonna have I think they're gonna have a big influence on the research for sure. Apple's definitely gonna have a big influence on the research of people coming back to doing business again, and especially in the city, for sure. Apple's gonna be a part of it. Apple projects.
well, they collect so much data.
Oh, Apple, right?
Yeah, Apple has so much data collected on us.
Yeah, they have everything. Everything that's been in your phone is run through Apple database.
That's why they can
Every
do like artificial intelligence with that data.
Yeah. Why? Because yeah,
It's
you're right.
crazy
But it makes sense though because they probably it's
because
all
the data is
numbers,
like
algorithm.
information. Yeah,
It's
numbers,
like
algorithms,
algorithm. Yeah.
information.
So they can know like in this situation they'll do this, in this they'll do
Mm.
this. That's how they do it, and now it's just weird. now
That's
it's
why what
just
is New York City gonna look like? It's gonna be like robots walking, Apple robots walking around.
maybe,
Like
maybe it might be. That's like
I like
the workers.
how technology driven like these cities gonna be, and they're gonna be competing with each other, and they all want to be the best. So they're gonna have the best technology. How far is it really
Right.
gonna go? Right?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, you could you look at Dubai.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? If they could do that in Dubai, when the research comes back to New York, they're gonna be like, oh, they did that. All
Mm.
right, all right. Watch what we're about to do to New York City because they're already building like the biggest tower ever in Central
Mm.
Park. Like, so it's so crazy. Like how I don't even know how people live there, but it I don't know. I don't even know what's gonna happen with that. Like, what do people still want to live in that now? I don't know, but I think it maybe, but it'll be
Like you
different.
said, probably the young people.
Young people will want to. Young people will be all in there, probably. Yeah, I believe that. Definitely new young energy in the city, on the comeback. On the comeback is younger. Has to be. Has to be younger on the comeback, and that's all right. You kind of you need that. It needs a new. It needs a new breath of fresh air.
Yeah, like you said, look at a city like Tokyo. Look how advanced they are.
Right, right. We could be that because now everything's efficient. The subway's efficient now. It's clean. There's not
Mm.
that many people. It runs good. Like it's on time. Everything's like good now, because not a lot of people are taking it. So maybe that shows. Maybe that shows that it was overloaded before, or maybe that shows it was just inefficient before. Maybe a combo, but it's not that way now. So I wonder if places start to scale down. But Tokyo's not really scaled down in that way. There's a lot of volume of people in general. But maybe New York City will be back to that. But New York City runs pretty efficiently right now. I'll say that. The things that are open are efficient.
Yeah, everything's like organized and like
Yeah,
controlled now.
yeah. Everything's very controlled. It's very in
Monitored, yeah.
order. Yeah, it's monitored. Everything's in a portion. Everything's like that. So that's the new way. If you are open, you're probably running as efficient as you can. As
That's
efficient.
interesting because that kind of opens it up for technology to come in smoother.
Right, 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 right. You're right about that. You're right about that. Why? Because they could see like something new in it.
It's already like slowed down and like organized and like it's already
It
like
is.
kind of going in the route. Like it's almost like routine, more routine now. So technology can just take over something that's routine rather than it being like so sporadic like before. It's more organized now.
Now you're definitely right. You're definitely right. It is, and it should be less. Like I said, maybe not now, but eventually there will be less cost too to companies. There should be less cost to them for not having to pay so much to house a company. That might be
Yeah,
the new.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Speaking of on that subject, the company that I always talk about, Tortoise Acquisition, that's taking over
Mm,
Helium, which is ticker symbol right now, SHLL. They actually just brought in a board member. Has a lot of political power, but he was involved in like I think trains and subways. So they're saying maybe in the future they might have like EV subways and trains. They might bring in that industry like more efficient, like electric vehicle ran like more better for the earth and things like that,
mm,
and probably smoother ride.
mm.
It's all digital, like the engine and the mechanics is digital. If you go to electrical vehicle, it's almost like in Tesla, you probably don't go to a mechanic. They use like a computer to fix your car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. I mean, even even the cars we drive now are computerized. It's all
Mm.
computer. They're going there with the computer to figure out what's wrong with your car now.
But I think with Tesla, you don't even go to a mechanic. Someone just like on a computer, just fix
Yeah,
your
like
car.
right, like this is like this. Like you talk to them,
Yeah,
you just they
yeah.
just
For
tell you
real.
how to they just tell you how to do it. They just like tell you, all right, push this button. All right, you got to fix this, and that's what it is. But
But I guess if they like what you're saying, if they make subways like that, we are going more technology. If you have EV, electric vehicle subways, they can fix them with a computer. Those are examples of like New York City, the
right,
technology that can come to New York City and these big cities.
right. I mean, I know that would need an overhaul, but that it would need a large overhaul, especially in New York City. But this would be the time to sort of try to do something with the subway. Try to get it more as efficient as you can right now, because you could. I think, I think it's still shut down from 1 to 5 in New York City. The subway. Maybe take that time and start trying to fix a lot of the problems that was making it not a fit. You know what I mean? Right now, while you're shut down, there's not a lot of people because you could even work during the day. The train. I've been on the trains a couple of times. They're empty. There's not really a lot of people on it, so you could stop it. It's not even that packed. Um, they 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 I think it's now or never. It's now or never to do that. You're never gonna have this shut down again. Because once you get back to normal, it's not gonna be ready.
If the trains are unpacked, what does that mean for like the New York City economy, though? It's not very good look, right?
It's just wait what? It's just wait what? It's just I don't know. It's not really good. Like I said, right now we in like a it's like we floating. Like it's like we floating. We're not going downward yet. Maybe we're headed downward, but we're just like floating right now, trying to figure out: are we? Do we have the engine? Is it all right? Like we don't.
Yeah,
So
like
it's
what's
kind of
going on with the real
like what's
economy in New York
going on
City
with
right
the
now?
real? Yeah, like what's really going on with it? Because it's not. It's. It can't. I can't imagine it being okay for much longer. Like the rest of the year feels like it can't make it. I don't know. It doesn't feel that way. It feels very
Well,
hollow.
if there's nobody on the subway, how are you going to pay the salaries of the MTA
Not,
workers?
not, you're not. That's what they was getting all the big bucks off. The tourists, all that. Everything's shut. Everything in Midtown is shut. Like it's shut. Like Times Square is shut. Can't go in none. All that stuff was inside stuff. Can't go in none of it. Movie
Yeah, so
theater.
it's like, is New
Yeah.
York still going to be the most empire state after all this?
I don't even know. Might have to change it. I don't even know what it is after this. It might be different. It might be maybe still. I feel like it always will have, maybe just off the name, it'll always be kind of big, kind of. But as far as the economically, like, is this the powerhouse? I mean, maybe it depends. What we doing with the new Apple City? what's,
Yeah,
what's going? If
like,
that,
you get a new wave
then
of young people to recreate. I see
right,
what you're saying.
right. If we do that, then maybe we are back. Maybe it is because we got the infrastructure to be powerhouse. Even if we down for a minute, we need like the young cats to come flip the lights on. Oh, let me dust this off, flip the lights on real quick. You know, they got to clean it up, renovate it,
Rebuild the city, right?
rebuild the city, right, and come rebuild the city with some let younger people own places in the city. That should be a focus too. Like now, helping younger people own spots in the city and owning homes in New York City. That should be a new initiative. That's what it should be. If you really want people to stay, give them spots to own. That's what you should do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know,
100%.
back to the real estate thing. Give them places that's what but that's not what they're doing. But that's okay. That's why you just got to learn and take take these two stimuluses hopefully, and invest. Put them in something that'll get at least double your money back. At least double it. You don't want to lose money. You should at least double your money on whatever you put it on. But put it in something wise. I would do the real estate and definitely invest it in the market, in the stock market. Probably buy a little gold, a little more gold, and call it a day, man. I think that's the play. But you got to be diversified now. There's no more one trick pony no more. That's over. And probably no rules, right? I feel like you can make your own rules now for whatever your business wants to be. Like there's no guidelines no more. You make your guidelines of whatever your store wants to be, whatever
I think a lot of innovation is going to come out of here. You see new ways of doing business. I think so. A lot of innovation going to
right.
come out.
Because you can do Zoom everything.
It might be one of the most innovative times we ever see in history that comes out of this.
This might be like a technological renaissance, like something like that. Like a new, you know how there used to be the Renaissance period where they did art, which is mad art and just crazy. It might be like the technological version of that right now, where it just, all right, we about to turn it up on this technology thing now. Now it's going to be, all right, people got to work from home. Watch how we let y'all work from home. It's going to be like whole offices, like you just pop up an office.
Yeah, for real. Virtual offices, like
virtual office. So it looks like you're in an office, like behind you. It looks like you're in like an office, and it's like, oh, okay, this is how we.
So we're not too far off to saying like virtual reality and augmented reality are the next step. You know, in the future. Also, you're gonna get like a pair of goggles, glasses you can put them on, and you'll see the whole store in front of you. Like you'll see Whole Foods in front of you, and you can shop through your glasses. And you'll be at the subway, standing waiting for the train, put the glasses on, and see a whole retail store, and you shop like that. Like you pick the items up.
It's coming.
So your glasses get sent to your house.
It's coming. It's coming. Right. I mean,
like a smart refrigerator where you have 12 eggs. When you're down to 6, it'll automatically reorder 12 more in your house.
Right. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. I think we're not far off from that though. I think that'll be the new wave.
Are we gonna be smart technology dumb people at that point? Like, what is our
probably we're probably at that point, because if they just technology us out, I mean, what's more efficient than technology? You know, you don't got to deal with People are going to be like, oh, I don't have to deal with attitude, none of that. It just runs. All right, I don't need people no more. You don't want it to get to that point.
People don't even like each other no more.
Yeah, people don't even like. Yeah, they don't want to deal with people no more.
Everybody's in their own VR world, augmented reality
Right,
world.
right, exactly.
It's crazy too, though.
And now you don't have to go out because you just got the grocery. Oh, I'm about to go grocery shopping. Just at the crib, you just,
right.
and then you never have to leave your house. So I think people are definitely more inside. I think we're more inside people now, probably the Sims now.
Yeah, because then we lose like human connection at that point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why social distancing is not really. I get what they're saying, but it doesn't really make sense. You can't social distance. Like social is like together. You can't social distance. You know what I mean? That doesn't even. They're trying to make it like it's okay, but it's not. That's not a. It doesn't make sense to me. They want people to be apart kind of right now. But the digital commerce will find a way for people to be together still and make our own economy work. We can make our own economy for sure and make it work for us to where it's our version how we wanted it. It's kind of free. It feels like at least free enterprise out here right now. Like you could just open an LLC and I'm gonna just sell air. I'm just trying to get home. I'm gonna just sell air. And just try to do it. You can just do whatever right now. Make your own rules, and maybe you pop. Maybe it's whatever. But I think it's all about getting out there and trying something and getting it, just getting something done. Now is the time. Now is definitely the time. But New York, I think definitely a younger city. New York is younger city soon. Couple years, 5 to 10 is mad younger. It's got to be. So do you think how do you think the more Apple Pay, Squarespace, does that affect how does that affect business? Do you think less people buy things now? Do you think less people are like spending if you have to do the more contactless digital way of shopping now? Or do you think it'll be a pop?
Why? Because you're saying some people are unfamiliar with it.
Yeah, because some people don't really know. Yeah, exactly.
I think at first you might see like a pullback like that, but eventually when people learn how to use it, you don't have to go to a store now because like, let's just say now you can be more like direct me to you. Like if you're selling like a T-shirt, I can just cash up you send me the T-shirt. So
right.
does it kind of cut like the
middleman? The middleman's out.
To your house and go directly to me. Like
right.
you don't need a whole store.
No, you're right. You're 100% correct on that. You're 100% correct. And that's the way to do it too. That's definitely the way to get it done. Because I see a lot of, if you look at social media, there's a lot of companies or people trying to start things, going, and it's smart. It's definitely smart to have it. That's another stream of income too to have. Just some kind of marketing, digital, some kind of platform. You need a presence on some kind of platform. I think right now is the time.
Well, that's kind of how drop shipping started. Like you would pay me for an item, then I would buy the item, keep the profit, and send the item to you before I never even had the item.
Right.
Like you would pay me, I would buy the item and send it to your house, and keep that profit in between.
Right.
You gave me what I spent on it.
Right. That's pretty much sums up drop shipping. But that's how we kind of need it to work a little bit.
And I feel like before this, people were looking at it like, drop shipping e-commerce like kind of a game. But now you see how it's so much reality. Like people might be a little scared to jump in before. Like, I don't know, is e-commerce a scam? But now the whole world is e-commerce. So now you're probably more jump in now. Like, let me just give it a shot. I mean, seems like it is the future.
I think that's exactly right. People are more willing to try things right now. Take a gamble. It's the roulette wheel. You probably just got to throw your dice on a roulette wheel right now because it will. Something's gonna come back up. Something's gonna come back up. You just got to throw it in the right bucket. You got to throw it in the right bucket, especially in New York City. That's what I'm saying. I would be on the prowl for owning a piece of New York City. I wouldn't be against it right now. It's probably the best time more than ever because people are going. A lot of people are going. But there's going to be a new way to do business now. they're already implementing all that cash. Now is like a good excuse for a lot of like the fast food restaurants. They only like take card. They don't want cash. Restaurant, the fast food, some fast food don't even want cash now, only card. So it's already happening. It's
That's
already
why
happening.
like take a chance. You got to be more diverse than ever now. You got to have like your regular 9 to 5 job.
Yep.
Maybe like an e-commerce store, a
Yep.
podcast.
Right. Right.
Some
Every minute. Like
homemade
besides
on the side, like yeah.
everything. Besides like when you sleeping, you gotta be like doing something that's like a stream
Yeah.
of something. Besides sleeping, you gotta do a stream of where something's like working for you. All right, I got this coming in. It feels good when you hit on a couple different things. It's like, oh, okay, you just gotta keep it going though.
In
It's
this
a
new
juggle.
economy, you kind of have to think like
You
that to
have
really
to.
thrive going forward.
Just to like survive, right? Just to like be around, you gotta like think like that now.
I
You gotta
said
be
thrive,
open.
but yeah, survive too.
Survive is more like that.
Thrive,
It's
yeah.
more like that. It's kind of like down to
Yeah.
even the basics, like surviving. It's
Mm.
like to survive right now. Maybe it was thriving, like people were thriving maybe a couple months ago when they was getting all that money maybe from unemployment. But there'll be I think there'll be a swift change, especially in like material thing. Retail maybe might take a hit, stuff like that. But it'll stay around though. It'll be around.
Speaking of, they actually getting rid of that 600,000 unemployment. You might start seeing like a little drop off now.
I think it's over, right? I think that's
Yeah, so
done.
you might see a little pullback in consumer spending since they stopped extra 600 on unemployment.
I think yeah, and then the fun begins then. Because once once people are down to only maybe you'll get three something. You get like three
Mm.
something a week,
Yes,
maybe
people get almost 1,000 to 300. Yeah.
yeah, barely get a thousand a month now from you getting almost four a month.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't save, so a lot of people didn't really save. So this is where it's going to be like, okay, remember we got rent freezes going on. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of parts like patched up right now. They're like, I'm not even open. A lot of stuff isn't open. The DMV isn't open. I never really thought of that, but the DMV still isn't open. Like it really, a lot of stuff is just not open. Right. The DMV ain't even open. You can't even get a license in New York City right now. You can't even take the road test. You can't take a road test. You can't even get a license. Yeah, it's crazy. People don't even think of that. You graduated. I want to get my license. Nah, not this year. Not this year. You're not. There's no way. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that are. I think that's government though, right? Yeah, DMV is government job though. So I guess they'll be around when they're around. They can be digital mostly.
But yeah, that's more an example of technology. Now you got to go online and figure out all the applications and all that.
Right. You gotta do all that yourself. You gotta scan in your license now, like to get your new update. It's gonna be all that now. Scan your license to get your new license. All that's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could pay your tickets already online like that. You could do all that. So why not? Why not? Who's to say you can't do that? So I think that that's another way. It'll be different. It'll definitely be different. We're headed into a new experience. I hope people understand that. It's not going to be the same as once thought. But I think we're prepared.
It's super like electronically and digital driven too, technology driven.
I think a lot of people learn though too. A lot of people learn over the break too. Like I think older folks even learned a little bit how to do technology.
Mm-hmm.
Like even they learned a little bit how to do a little bit now. They can order stuff now and kind of get it. So once they could do that, you could get a basic foundation for where you could have more digital things where it's easily accessible and easily to do. Then you could have a bigger market off that. That's probably where they're going.
It's more comfortable to the general public to use.
Right.
iPads to buy things.
Exactly. Especially now, it's like, just do the iPad, wipe it off. We don't got to worry. Do your PPE. It's gonna be back to, it's gonna be back to that. I think it'll be, well, not even back to that. That's a new thing. It'll be a new thing now. But it's all right. I think it's probably time. It's probably time for that. It's probably time for that.
Yeah, but now what does that leave education? Because how do you educate children like into this new world, into this new way
Mm,
of doing business? How does
mm,
college just changes with the curriculum and all that?
mm. That's a ton. Probably got to take a sip to this one. Well, I see New York City. New York City released the plan. They're letting people go back. Kids are going back to school supposedly. That's what they're saying. So, I mean, it's tough, man. School is that's tough. That's a tough one with the kids because it's gonna be hard to, if you really need to do the guidelines, it's gonna be hard to have kids follow guidelines. That's just a tough ask in general. Kids don't follow, like they kind of do. Kids
Mm.
kind of do, but they don't really follow. They'll follow it for like a little bit. They're not following it for forever. You know what I mean? They're not going to do it. So that alone, I mean, look at Atlanta. They had to close down Atlanta. Atlanta opened up schools. Nobody had a mask. 3 people had a mask on. Everybody else didn't. They shut it down. And it's tough, man. It's a tangle web we weave with the school now. It's a because then on the flip side, what do the parents do if you have a job, if you're a nurse, you got to go to work. I don't have to stay home, and I have kids. So what am I supposed to do if I have to go out, and usually my kids are at school when I'm working?
Mm.
And now that's not, or now or maybe now I don't want to send them and I don't feel comfortable. It's tough. It's tough. I don't even know. I feel like they haven't really figured that out until it opens. We won't know literally until it opens and we see what happens. Unfortunately, that's unfortunate, but I think that's how it'll be. And I think that has a lot of. I think the education part has a lot to do with the economy too, because let's say if we have another spike, maybe because of schools being open, we might shut down again because of school. Because now the kids went home, and now they was with this one, and now the kid. So who knows?
Yeah, that's one thing. That's like safety and guidelines. But now, what about the way you teach children to advance in this new
Oh, like how? Like
economy and this new world moving forward? Like you can't
that's
teach like To Kill a Mockingbird. Like like things have to change. No, like it's not really relevant in
it's
20
mad over. Yeah,
35 when the kids
they that
graduate.
I think what 2020 did, they like shut the door on like 2019 was like, all right, that was old. Now
Mm,
we in this is all like, this is like a line, like, all right, new starts now, new chapter. That's old now. I think that's how we will look at that. You're right. It's not To Kill a
mm.
Mockingbird. Now it's technology. Like, how does technology
How to set up an
build,
e-commerce store.
right?
What do
How
you
to
think
set up
about that?
ecom, right? Right. How do you use your social media platform to get other income to
Mm,
sustain? How to do, right? How to make appearances? How to do digital consulting now? How to do
mm,
all that kind of stuff is going to be, is make your own thing now. All them things that like were looked at as just like, oh, that's just a little hustle, could actually be
mm,
a whole company now if you do it
mhm,
the right way. Those little hustles that you had that was like niche, like the niche joints that was just like a couple people did it. If you turn that a little bigger now, you might be able to catch something off the new way we doing. And if you go digital, because now you could put more money into having your Square, your Apple Pay set up, because now you ain't have to spend money on getting a
mm.
place to store to house your stuff. You don't need that. I do everything digitally on my phone, on my laptop. It's literally my whole corporation is on my laptop and my phone. That's how I do it. So I think that's the new wave. How it should be, at least.
Well, I guess kids also kind of got a wave of the new technology too, because they're at home doing school from Zooms or Google Duos, whatever they use. So they're kind of
Right.
like, they're kind of on the wave too as it happens.
And they could switch faster than us.
Mm,
Kids could switch to the new faster. They'll just be like, all right, they don't have no reference point. So they come in with
mm,
this. All right, this is just This is what I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm
They're
just
more
do
adaptable, yeah.
right. They're more adaptable. Adults are gonna have more of the trouble. We the ones that's like, I don't really know what it is. Kids, they definitely know what it is. This is what I know. This is all I know, and it's okay if I look at a screen and learn from my teacher. That's okay. You know, that's regular to me. It's gonna be like back in my day, we used to go to school and actually see our teacher.
We would bring apples and we'd have cake on kids' birthdays.
And we would all sit in these places called lunchrooms and eat together and have fun and tell stories. Right. It was great. It was good times. It was a long time ago. 10 years ago was light. 10 it's just like 15 years ago. But I think it is gonna change, and the younger people are gonna have to do it. But school, as far as teaching them, I think you're definitely gonna have to be more, curriculums have to be more business, like economics, business, how numbers work, and like not trigonometry. We got to know how economic number, not trigonometry, economics. We got to know that. You have to know that. You know what I'm saying? That trigonomics, you don't know. You don't need to know that really. That's not helping you right now. Economics will definitely help you. And I think if we could have more input, it's probably our time. Maybe it's good if parents are home, even if it's a little more now, because now you could give them like a supplemental education past school. Like even if they have to go or they're doing it virtually, you can still help them with it and like know what they're doing and be there and kind of see what they're doing. But there's two sides to it, but it could go a lot of ways once school has to open. That's going to change a lot.
That's actually great you said that, but now in order for the parents to teach the parents have to teach themselves this stuff too. But I think they have better access to that as well. They have more access to YouTube, and they can look up things online, financial information, teach their kids. But the parents have to teach themselves first before they can teach the kids. But I think
Right.
technology can help with that as well.
Right. Because you could do, we joke about it, but YouTube University, you could definitely do. It's not even funny, but you can learn a lot of stuff, especially if it's not so much if it's a like if you need a licensing type of thing, probably not, but if it's a business creative, you're just I need to learn how to do this in business where you have free reins to roam. Yeah, you could definitely go on YouTube and like, that's where it's great, or download an ebook or whatever and learn how to do a whole thing. You could be what's that thing called where you stamp, you like mark something official. What's that called? Where you're like the person
notary.
Notary. You could be a notary, right? And just make a little, something on the side and do that. If cats do that, I don't even know if that's a thing. I don't even know if that's a thing no more after the pandemic. Maybe though, might still need to be notarized. Maybe digital notary. There might be a new thing. Might be a digital notary or something like that. But that space is probably going to be where it's headed. Something like that.
That's actually a great way to use your time. Maybe get an ebook, read on your spare time. You're home now more than take some of the weekend and teach your kids some of the stuff that you learned.
Definitely.
Our children ourselves.
Definitely. Now more than ever, especially with skills, like how to do life skills, like how to do things, not just busy work all the time. Sometimes you got to teach them also, like, all right, this is how you, like our kids gonna have to learn early, like earlier than me. This is how you buy a crib. This is how you get it. They don't just appear, like you got to get it. These are the steps as early as they can learn, it. I want them to learn it and be able to, finesse a house early, 17, 18 with a house, just because you know how to do it and you're not afraid of it, because it doesn't sound foreign to you after a while. If you know what it is, it doesn't sound foreign. You can speak that language. They'll be able to speak that language. You have to know that. You have to know that.